Hey Libra, welcome to your 2025 tarot session. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for your patience as always. And I got the recap, the yearly recap from YouTube, and you guys were the second most viewed sign on the channel in 2024. So I really appreciate it. I really wanted to show up earlier for you guys, and thank you for all of the love and just collaborating with me here, listening and receiving the messages. It means a lot to me, so thank you. Okay, happy new year. And as always, I'm going to start by picking the general energy. So today we are looking at 2025 and also lessons from 2024. What is coming up? What is coming with us in the new year? What we are releasing. We're honoring whatever wants to show up today. Libra, look at that. This is no joke. I love the Death card, and I've said this 1,000 times here. This is not about an ending. This is a rebirth. This is a new beginning, because the Death card is like a compost pile. There's so much contained in this. It's connected to Scorpio, and Scorpio is fixed water. So think about fixed water. Think about everything that can be contained there, all the emotions, all the energies. And I feel like with this card, we're clearing out the old. And actually, when I say the old, it's what is already over. We can identify with the Death card what is already dead, quote unquote, in our lives that we've been worrying about. We've been giving our energy to whatever is just, it's over. Can we accept it? Can we honor it? And again, this is a rebirth. This is a full-on transformation. So 2025 could be a year of transformation. There could be something that you're already planning on changing. I want to get healthier. I want to be the best at something. I want to be a truer version of myself. I don't know what it is for you, but it's deep and it's important. So we have the Queen of Cups, the deepest energy in the whole tarot. So a lot of water energy here. I think that you probably started the year with some type of heaviness emotionally. Like, okay, I'm still dealing with the same themes. I'm still feeling the same. And I think that January might be some type of an introspection for you. Sorry. Like emotionally recalibrating in January and giving yourself a little bit of a break. Like, okay, I don't have to be perfect starting January 1st. I can be more aware though. I can get vulnerable. I can open myself to have deeper conversations. Are there things emotionally that you feel you're just ready to deal with, to address, to tend to? With the Queen of Cups, for sure. For sure. Also, your intuition. You could be noticing that intuitively you're feeling different. The channel is clearer, louder. Okay, yeah. So the Wheel of Fortune is showing up for you here. And it's interesting because it feels like the clearer your intuition gets, the more aligned you are with your soul purpose, the more aligned you are with this energy. The Wheel of Fortune is the universe pushing you in the right direction. It's a confirmation that whatever you were ready to leave behind is being cleared. It's dissolving in some way. But again, I think you're starting the year and you're asking yourself like, okay, when is it going to be over? I don't want to deal with the same thing. I don't want to feel the same. I want improvement. And a part of you is saying like, just do it. And on the other side, you're like, yeah, but it's not that easy. So now you know that the universe is meeting you halfway. You know that the Wheel of Fortune is already turning in your favor. There is something in 2025 that is connected to your luck, your abundance, and just magic in general. Because this card is the most esoteric card in the tarot. And it's connected to fixed energy. So what was fixed in our life, what we felt we were stuck in, is now dissolving. And it's not miraculous, really. It's just, again, the universe meeting you halfway because you have done the work. And you obviously got curious, especially when it comes to your feelings. Like, why am I feeling that way? I want to understand why I feel triggered or sad or annoyed or scared or worried when something specific happened. Like, why do I feel that way? I don't want to blame anyone. I don't want to blame myself. I want to understand. And that curiosity in 2024, it got you, it led you to another level of consciousness. So maybe you're looking back at 2024 and you're telling yourself, okay, I did not accomplish that much. But you did. But it was the internal work. And it is as important, if not more important than anything material, because it's the foundation. So now that the foundation is solid, and clearly the universe and your guides are saying, yeah, you did it, Libra. Can you see that? Can you honor that? And I'm not even surprised to see the Queen of Pentacles. This is definitely a confirmation that my intuition is right here. Your foundation is ready. And you've built a very strong one this year. So the Queen of Pentacles, she understands that magic flows through her in each moment. That she doesn't need anything external right now. She is the conduit. She is the channeler. She is the missing ingredient. So there's this moment, this haha moment really, where you're realizing, okay, it's me. I'm the solution. I'm my own wise teacher. I am in control of my life. And maybe you did not feel so much in control of your life. Maybe, the universe got in the way, other people got in the way of you achieving certain, level of success this past year. But again, everything you've been through was meant to be because you were building a strong foundation for yourself. So it makes sense that the Death card is here. This is your rebirth. This is when you're able to say and to acknowledge, I've worked so hard on myself. And I cannot quantify what I have done, what I have accomplished, because it's deeper than the material. It's deeper than what your body looks like and the amount in your bank account and the car you're driving. And it is about the inner change. So now that the emotional and the foundation is aligned, the sky is the limit for you. So you probably already started feeling like this year, 2025, is the year where you're going to set some big goals for yourself because you believe it. You believe in yourself way more now than you did a few years ago. Your subconscious knows. Your higher self knows. And it's going to remind you time and time again. So we have the Two of Cups. At the heart of your year, the 10 of Pentacles. So we know that, especially just when you see the storyline here, it all starts with yourself. It all starts with seeing the soulmate in the mirror. And again, everything that I said, this is my confirmation. This moment where you're like, I am the secret ingredient. No one is going to save me. I cannot expect other people to always support me, to always cheer for me. It's me. It has to come from me. So the Two of Cups is radical self-love. It's when we're able to give ourselves the credit. And here it's cups, so especially around the emotional growth. Something is expanding, something is changing. Whatever used to bother you, it doesn't bother you as much in 2025. It's not feeling like a burden or a weight. Fear is not getting in the way of you accomplishing any type of goals. And here with the Ten of Pentacles, it always starts again within. We all know that. But it's easier said than done to say, I need to love myself first. Yeah, but it's an act of every day. It's a practice, and you have become so much better at it. And here with the Ten of Pentacles, we break some type of ancestral pattern. We heal a wound that has been with us forever. 11:11 on the timer as I'm saying this. So everything is aligned in this moment for you to say, I don't carry this burden anymore. I'm not bringing in this new year the heaviness. I want to travel light. I'm ready to forgive, not necessarily forget, but to forgive in order to find peace within myself truly. So there's a lot of forgiveness here, a lot of acceptance. The Ten of Pentacles is so magical. It's a perfect alignment of the past, present, and future self. And we're not angry at our caretakers, at our ancestors. We're not angry at our past selves. Everything is beautifully aligned. And there's something very special in this card that I noticed like a few days ago. And I've been studying, teaching, learning the tarot for more than a decade now. And I just noticed this past few days that the kiddo here placed a hand on the dog. And this is a different version of the tarot. This is the Moon Baby Tarot, but the Rider-Waite-Smith, which this is inspired from, it's a copy of the Rider-Waite-Smith. There's no coincidence. If there's this symbol here, if that kid was drawn with a hand on the dog, there's a reason here. I'm not sure what it means yet, and I want to get curious about it. I started journaling about it because every time I kind of discover new symbols in the tarot, I get very curious about it. And I don't know yet what it means. I know that if I check in and intuitively what wants to come through is all of the pets, all of the fur babies that I had in my life that, came and went in my life. That could be it. But there's something here about connecting with our primal instinct with our primal nature. It could be a symbol of acceptance in some way. I know that sometimes I do things that I'm not so proud of because it's just, it's my nature. The calling was bigger. Or it could be just accepting. Like, I don't see the past mistakes as regrets or failures anymore. My perspective is changing. It could mean so many things. But I really want to hold space for whatever meaning this has for you. If you think about, again, the kid's hands on the dog. What does this mean for you? If you close your eyes and you take a deep breath, like intuitively, I'd be curious to know what it means for you. And that's the beauty of the tarot. I'm the channeler here, but it could mean something completely different to you. And that's the beauty of this. So with the Knight of Pentacles, you're moving in the world with so much care, so much gratitude, and just accepting that things might be moving more slowly, but it doesn't mean that nothing's happening. The slow and steady wins the race here. It really is starting to make sense for you. Because if you try to rush everything, it just gives your brain the illusion that you're moving faster, but you're not. You're not. When we rush things, we're more prone to make mistakes or to regret what we're doing. There's not enough intention here. And in 2025, really the two key words are intention and consistency. And I think the Knight of Pentacles is going to show up constantly for every sign. Notice if you've already seen it pop up like in your own readings or on other readers' readings. Intention and consistency, because we are in a hermit year. So it really is about doing the best with what we have and being as present and intentional as we can. It's not about quantifying. Again, we need to upgrade our perception here. Because in the world that we live in and the times that we live in, it's all about more. Bigger cars, bigger bodies, bigger, everything is fake. Everything is more. And we're going back to the roots now. We're going back to real. People are craving real authenticity. And we have to be present and intentional for that. So it's not about how much you're doing. It's about how intentional are you. Even if you're, for example, that's just an example. Even if you're going to the gym just one time a week, are you present? Are you really taking care of each part of your body, and again, that's just an example, but it's about anything. If there's something you want to begin, if there's something you've been curious about, just do it, but don't pressure yourself to do it every day or to do it multiple times a day. It's not about quantifying, but the brain will invite us to quantify because it gives us the illusion that we're actually accomplishing more when it's not necessarily the truth. And sometimes we burn ourselves out. Like, how many times did you do that in your life? January, February, you are on the grind, and then March, you're like, nope, I cannot do this anymore. I'm just so exhausted. I'm fed up. I think that if we start slow, focusing on intention and consistency, I really feel like we can accomplish anything this year. I really believe that. I know it in my heart. And we're going to see a lot of people, like random people, just ordinary folks. We're going to see them more and more showing up online and sharing their lives and having huge successes just because they are being themselves. Again, people are craving different. They're craving authenticity. I'm so fed up of seeing the same type of folks. They all look the same. They all drive the same car. Their house looks the same. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in this culture of more and of perfection. It's an illusion. It's all fake. So when I said earlier with the Queen of Cups, you're tapping into this version of yourself, like the realest, truest part of yourself. What is that? Check in. Ask yourself, get curious around that. Like, what is the truest version of myself? Because in 2024, you've tapped into this. That was the whole point of the year. So here we have the Nine of Swords. It's interesting because this is a collective card. So as a Venus ruled sign, and my friend, I'm a Taurus, I'm also Venus ruled. I get it. I get how challenging it could be. Being a Venus ruled sign, sometimes we look outside of ourselves for validation. We forget to look within. We want to make sure everything is good around us, everyone's okay, and then we're gonna maybe think of ourselves if we have energy left. So right now, as the collective is going through so much, the world is on fire, baby. Like, we all know this, we understand it. We can feel so much grief, so much anxiety, and we don't really know why. We can move through ups and downs, like crazy ups and downs, mood swings, energy levels are never consistent. we are collectively in this together, like we are collectively grieving. And it's hard to suffer, of course, and it's hard to see others suffer and feel like you cannot do anything about it. So this card here, the Nine of Swords, is a confirmation that we're all in this together. That sometimes what our brain tells us is not necessarily the truth. And that, of course, there are going to be moments where we feel like we're just trying to run. And it's like, you know, I'm sure you've all dreamt of that at least once. Like you're trying to run and it's like slow motion, or you feel like you're stuck in the quicksand. It's going to feel like that most of 2025. Because when you experience some type of success, or when you receive a blessing, when you're going through something amazing, the brain eventually will say, yeah, but look around, people are suffering. Like, how can you make sure to remember that taking care of yourself, putting the oxygen mask on yourself first, has a very positive impact on the people around you. And it's like an echo. You cannot save everyone around the world, but you can start with yourself, and then your close family, your neighbors, your friend. And this is an echo, always. So don't underestimate the power of kindness, complimenting someone, you know, asking your neighbors or someone, like, do you need help? To not always wait for people to just come and ask, you know. I feel like those are the little steps, the little things that accumulate and can really make a big difference. I feel like sometimes people are like, you know, I see a lot of activists online and people are just wanting to save the world, but they treat their neighbors like shit, or they treat their family like shit, or they even treat themselves like shit. So it starts with you, and don't underestimate that. And I have 2022 on the timer as I'm saying this. There's a lot of synchronicities here showing up for you in this reading. Everything is aligned. Everything is aligned, and I feel like your guides are saying, Libra, it's not about how much you do, it's about the little efforts and how they accumulate, it's not accumulate, but really they work as an echo. 3 of Cups is here, and 7 of Cups. 3 of Cups is the invisible family. It's another confirmation from your guides that they are here. They are supporting you. Your guides, your angels, your well ancestors. And it's interesting that we have the Wheel, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Cups all in the same row here. You're going to be communicating with your guides in different ways. I feel like there are certain gifts. Your intuition is on unlocking new gifts this year. So is there a practice that you feel interested in? Did you always try to, you know, maybe read tarot cards for yourself or learn more about the tarot? And that's just an example. You don't necessarily need tools to connect with your guides. It really is about listening. It's about creating some type of space, you know. And the 3 of Cups to me always felt like my guides were saying, trust what comes next. It's not supposed to be obvious. You're not supposed to have a clear plan this year of what you're going to be doing in 9-10 months. Remember, always go back to the card of the year, which is the Hermit. When you look at the Hermit card in the tarot, there's a person, you know, an old man with a beard holding his lantern, and the lantern lights the next step, not the whole year. It's about the next step. It's about what you do right now with your day. How do you start your day? How do you judge or talk to yourself? And how do you connect and support the people around you? This is the most important thing right now. And with the 7 of Cups, I think it's just really trying to, again, clarify and acknowledge that, yeah, this is going to be a year where, especially the beginning of the year, we're not going to know where we're going. Things are going to feel a little confusing and a little messy. But we have to go back to what we can control, our actions, the words that we use, the daily practice, especially again, how you start your day. It really is probably the most important thing. How you start your day. What is the first thing that you do? There's so many, options here. So many options in the Seven of Cups. Am I going to just wake up and grab my cell phone and doom scroll for 30 minutes and then be mad? And my nervous system is like extra activated. Am I running and drinking coffee? Like how you start your day is so important, and remembering that you have a choice. Those are the things that you can control. And sometimes we are addicted to things. Of course, I understand that. Like a lot of folks are addicted to their phones, addicted to their coffee, and some folks are addicted to drama. Like they need the drama, they need the gossip. Whatever it is that you feel kind of quote unquote addicted to, I think that slowly but surely there are going to be changes around that, and the things that you used to struggle with are not as hard anymore. There's something here that comes up for you, Libra, and I don't know if it's a specific message for someone, but in 2024, and I would say in the past decade, there were either addictions or habits that isolated you because there was fear, there was shame around those habits. There was just unresolved inner stuff. It was stuck. It was very complicated and messy. And I feel like a lot of Libras isolated themselves because of how their addictions or how their, habits made them feel. And there's so much vulnerability here for you very early on in the year. It's like you're saying, this is me. This is what I'm struggling with. I want to get better. I want to improve. But I know it's part of the game. It's part of the growth to mess up. It's part of this journey to get vulnerable and then, navigate this mess. But I think that, and the way I'm sensing it intuitively, it's like, I wish I could say this in French. It would be so much easier for me. Like, did you ever have like a jewelry box and there were like all the chains and all the jewelry just tangle together? And at one point you just give up because you're like, it's kind of impossible to do this. This year, it really untangles more easily. There's still work required. There's still patience, intentions, like presence required. But it's not as big of a deal anymore. I think you're going to look back on the past decade and you're going to be like, why was I so stubborn about this? Why was I so stuck on this? Why was I so stressed about this thing, angry about this thing? Because you were supposed to, because it was part of your growth. So that's why the Two of Cups showed up. That's why there's this transformation here when it comes to how your emotions, how your feelings isolate you from the world. And there's so much growth in collective here. There's so much expansion and abundance coming from collaboration, from connection and vulnerability. So this is, I'd say, a fragment of this year for you, but those are some of the important messages that your guides wanted you to hear in this moment. So Libra, let me pick an oracle card for you. Libra. Oh, I love this. Sign. If you are looking for a sign, here it is. So you have 2 10s. So I would say number 10 is very important for you this year. 10, completion. Completion. What are you complete with? And I would say what is coming up here, there are so many messages coming up for you today, Libra. There's a promise that you made to yourself a few years back and you kind of forgot about it, or you just did not get the opportunity to fully work around that, there's a promise this year that you will keep, a promise that you made to yourself, and this is probably going to change your life. It's going to help you get to the next level of something. What is the area of your life? Just get clear around that. What is the area of your life, in your life, that you just want to expand around? Because I'm getting that you should focus on this one thing first, to not say it's everything, because again, it's all about perception. I think that your nervous system is a little, you're a little exhausted. You're beginning the year and you're like, okay, there's so much to do, so little time. I don't know, how am I going to do this? Just start with one thing. The first thing that comes up, trust your initial feeling, trust your intuition. And that is one of the best ways to work with your intuition. Trust the initial feeling. It takes a lot of courage to do that, and it really is a practice. It doesn't mean that you're going to be right all the time, but there is something with the initial thought, always. And the tarot was the tool that helped me, really start trusting my own intuition. And this initial feeling thing is so important for me, because sometimes I would do personal readings and then I would ignore the initial thought, the initial intuition, the message that would come up. I would ignore it because I felt like it was too big or too intense, or I don't know, I was hesitating. And then people connect with me and they tell me exactly what I've heard or what I felt. And that happened, like, I would say more than 100 times just in the past few years. So trusting the initial feeling, not because it's a guarantee that you will succeed, but because it is a practice to start trusting yourself and trusting your guides and your intuition. So I'm sending love, Libra. This is going to be a very, very deep, expensive, abundant year for you. And especially if there's something that you've been trying to heal or move on from, I think that you are having all the support that you need to do that. The universe is on your side. Notice how the Wheel of Fortune is the only major card in this reading, but the Death card, which is another major, is your general energy. So this is a year that you will remember. But it's not about the big changes and the big accomplishment. It's about the little day-to-day thing and knowing that the universe is supporting you and meeting you halfway. I'm sending love, Libra. Bye. I'll talk to you guys next week.